Get ready to dive into the captivating history of the Rastafari movement in Dominica with Dread, Rastafari and Ethiopia, the rise of Rastafari in Dominica. Discover the dramatic inception of the Rastafari movement in the 1970s and its development to the present day. Learn about the extensive research and interviews conducted to bring this historical account to life. Uncover epic chapters in Dominica's history, including the passage of the Prohibited and Unlawful Societies and Associations Act 1974 and the historic trial of black activist Desmond Trotter. Explore the candid and sincere accounts from those whose stories have not been told until now. Mark your calendars for November 19th, 2024, when Dread, Rastafari and Ethiopia will be released. Don't miss this in-depth exposition of the rise of the Rastafari movement in Dominica.
Journey through the historic sites and monuments of the Rastafari movement in Dominica. During the Black Power era, Four Corners served as a significant historical marker for the Rastafari movement in Dominica, symbolizing an important period of cultural and social change. Ras Apri's Idol Shop on Turkey Lane was a pivotal location during the Rastafari era, playing a positive role in the community and contributing to the movement's influence and significance. Harlem Jam City, owned by the late Loftus Emmanuel, is considered a historical marker, being the venue for the launch of Honorable Natty Dread and African Liberation Day celebrations. Additionally, after Hurricane David, the first school to open was King David Community Preschool, founded by Ras Algi in 1979, further solidifying the Rastafari movement's impact on education and community development. These are just a few of the many historical sites and monuments related to the Rastafari movement in Dominica, each representing a unique piece of the movement's rich history and cultural significance. Welcome to a brief look at the life and legacy of Dominica's first Prime Minister, Colonel Patrick Rowland John. Patrick John, born on January 7, 1938, was the 13th child of a huckster and a waterfront worker, raised in the heart of Roseau. He led Dominica to full political independence from Great Britain on November 3, 1978, leaving an enduring legacy despite controversies. His association with the Dread Act and the plot to overthrow the Mary Eugenia Charles government with white supremacists, Ku Klux Klan, neo-Nazi groups, United States and Canadian mercenaries, and militant Rastafarians left a dark cloud over his legacy. Formerly the youngest mayor of Roseau and the last premier of the colony of Dominica, Patrick Rowland John passed away on July 6, 2021, at the age of 83. This has been a brief overview of the life and passing of Dominica's first Prime Minister, Colonel Patrick Rowland John, and his impactful legacy on the Rastafarian movement in Dominica. To the story of the Dread Report. In 1975, the government appointed a commission of inquiry to investigate the Dread problem. The amnesty was extended to allow a task force to look into the origins and causes of Dreadism, led by Methodist minister Far Alexander and other committee members. On October 10, 1975, the findings of the committee were presented in the 28-page Didier report. The committee identified three types of dissatisfied youth: the peaceful counterculture group, the political activists, and the criminal element. They also recommended revising the Dread Act to become a terrorist act instead. The John administration considered the recommendations weak and too conciliatory.
The story of Joseph Owen's visit to Dominica in the late 1970s. In 1978, Frater Joseph Owens, a Jesuit cleric and white social worker, visited the Caribbean. Owens, known as a pioneering scholar of the Rastafarian movement, had written a book called Dread, The Rastafarians of Jamaica, based on his experiences during his social work in Jamaica. During his Caribbean tour, Owens was prohibited from entering Antigua to deliver a lecture. However, he made a significant impact during his visit to Dominica, where he held public discussions and organized a film screening at police headquarters and parish hall. He also participated in a Nyabingi at Teferm and visited jailed Black Power, political prisoner Desmond Trotter at the state prison. Ras Mwada, who was present at the Nyabingi, recalled that Owens engaged in intense discussions with the Rastafarians, even smoking spliffs with them and rubbing the ashes on his forearms. This experience led Mwada to urge Owens to share the truth with others. Mwada told him, "Now you know the truth, go and tell it to your people." Owens's visit to Dominica left a lasting impression, sparking meaningful interactions and discussions with the Rastafarian community.
Owens's visit was facilitated by the organized group of Rastafarians on the island. During his visit, Owens engaged in intense discussions with the Rastafarians and even participated in their rituals, smoking spliffs with the brethren and rubbing the ashes on his forearms. Mwata, who was present at the Nyabinghi, urged Owens to share the truth with his people after experiencing the Rastafarian culture firsthand. Joseph Owens's visit to Dominica left a lasting impact, fostering meaningful exchanges and understanding between different communities. In this video, we'll explore the fascinating history of the Rastafari movement in Dominica and its impact on society from this 1991 article in the New Chronicle. In the early 1970s, the Rastafari movement made its mark in Dominica, with young individuals seeking to express their African heritage. Graduates returning from the University of the West Indies in Jamaica were among those introducing the doctrine of Rastafari. The movement faced opposition, leading to the implementation of the Prohibited and Unlawful Societies Act, commonly known as the Dread Act, which gave the police the power to arrest members of the unlawful association. Today, the Rastafari scene in Dominica is characterized by an uneasy truce, with occasional confrontations and a lack of official recognition by government agencies. The Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated has played a significant role in promoting love and goodwill among Ethiopians at home and abroad, as well as honoring historical figures and contributing to economic well-being. As societal barriers break down, more individuals are embracing the Rastafari doctrine, contributing to the development of a unifying Caribbean consciousness. Join us as we delve deeper into the rich history and impact of the Rastafari movement in Dominica. Mary Eugenia Charles, Dominica's first female prime minister. Mary Eugenia Charles, born in Point Michel, Dominica, made history as the first female prime minister of Dominica. Her leadership was marked by resilience and determination, as she led the Dominica Freedom Party to 3 consecutive terms, from 1980 to 1995. A legacy of strength and resilience. Despite facing constant criticism and 2 coup attempts, Charles remained steadfast in her commitment to the people of Dominica. Her unwavering stance against terrorism and her efforts to disband the Dominica Defense Force showcased her dedication to the safety and well-being of her nation. A remarkable family legacy. Charles hailed from a family of entrepreneurs and trailblazers. Her father, J.B. Charles, was a remarkable entrepreneur who, despite humble beginnings, established various enterprises and served in significant public roles. The Red Dog Conspiracy. In 1981, Charles faced a serious threat when a group of mercenaries, fueled by racist ideologies, plotted to overthrow her government. Despite the challenges, she stood firm and resolute in the face of adversity. Mary Eugenia Charles's legacy continues to inspire generations, leaving an indelible mark on the history of Dominica. In 1981, Dominica saw a deadly clash between Rastafarians and authorities, resulting in over 13 Rastafarians being shot and killed by the police. The year marked a significant turning point in the strained relationship between the Rastafari movement and the government. The uprising also involved Rastafarians in a military coup attempt, with armed Rastafarians being part of the conspirators' group. This led to further clashes with the authorities and a series of violent incidents. Several confessions related to the events emerged, including a chilling confession from Eric Joseph, who admitted to shooting a prominent figure. The year 1981 became the deadliest year for the Rastafari movement in Dominica.
tribute to the late brother Marcel Djamala Fontaine, a cultural icon and influential figure in the development of the Creole language. Djamala was instrumental in promoting the acceptance of Creole as a national language, and his efforts led to the introduction of Creole Day, Creole Week, and Heritage Day as integral calendar events. He compiled the Creole English Dictionary and several editions of Anu upon Creole, and worked tirelessly to make Creole not only a spoken language, but also a written one. Djamala's patriotism and love for the language inspired many, and his vision for the transformation of his countrymen's thinking was ahead of its time. Djamala's legacy lives on, and we extend our deepest sympathies and condolences to his family, community, and colleagues. Let's continue his work and keep the research growing in his honor. Djamala, we miss you, but we know this is just the beginning of your labor of love. Ever wondered about the story behind that iconic photo? Let's dive into the fascinating tale of the photo captured by Ras Albert Williams. The photo was taken outside the Goodwill Parish Hall, near the Pottersville Savannah, Potterville, Roseau, Commonwealth of Dominica, on African Liberation Day, Wednesday, May 25, 1994. The photographer, Bro Latif, captured the moment during the African Liberation Day activities that year. The photo features Rastaman preparing for a march through Roseau to People's Park, with notable figures like Marcel Djamala Fontaine and Ras Albert Williams. The photo has been shared numerous times and is featured in Chapter 2 of Ras Albert Williams's book, Dread, Rastafari and Ethiopia, published in 2010. Now you know the captivating story behind the photo that has left a lasting impression. To dive into the captivating history of the Rastafari movement in Dominica with Dread, Rastafari and Ethiopia, the rise of Rastafari in Dominica. Discover the dramatic inception of the Rastafari movement in the 1970s and its development to the present day. Learn about the extensive research and interviews conducted to bring this historical account to life. Uncover epic chapters in Dominica's history, including the passage of the Prohibited and Unlawful Societies and Associations Act 1974 and the historic trial of black activist Desmond Trotter. Explore the candid and sincere accounts from those whose stories have not been told until now. Mark your calendars for November 19, 2024, when Dread, Rastafari and Ethiopia will be released. Don't miss this in-depth exposition of the rise of the Rastafari movement in Dominica. In 1981, 19-year-old Ras Albert Williams received his first byline for his first ever published article that sparked a public debate on the use of marijuana in Dominica in a center spread in the New Chronicle on January 24, 1981. Ras Albert Williams and Joey Vanterpool presented contrasting views on the sacramental use of marijuana as the tree of life in a piece called Marijuana is the Tree of Life, Not the Tree of Life. Williams argued that marijuana was the tree of life, citing biblical scriptures and historical uses of cannabis. Vanterpool countered, stating that Rastafarian arguments were based on a misunderstanding of scriptures. The debate, published 43 years ago, not only evaluated the state of the nation, but also launched Ras Albert Williams's literary career. The center-spread style of presentation, juxtaposing the views on either side of the argument, was noteworthy. With the recent trend of decriminalization of marijuana worldwide and recent amendments to controlled substances in Dominica, Ras Williams feels that his arguments on behalf of the Rastafari movement 43 years ago are today vindicated.
Welcome to an exclusive interview with Rasmo, an artist dedicated to cultural activism and performance poetry. Let's dive into his roots and his purpose as an artist. Rasmo, born in the southeastern village of Delices on Dominica's rugged Atlantic coast, has dedicated his life to the service of mankind through a vast repertoire of cultural forms and expressions. His inspiration came from his mother, who taught him the art of writing and homeschooled him for many years. Rasmo's appreciation for traditional and contemporary art forms runs deep, rooted in his fondest memories of the work songs in the cassava fields of Delices. He believes that culture evolves, and he's happy to be a part of that evolution through his contemporary work. Growing up in an isolated village and participating in People's Action Theater, living on a Rastafarian commune, and reading extensively have all influenced Rasmo's chosen path of thinking. Rasmo's journey has taken him from the Caribbean to the United States, where he continues to make an impact through his work, training workshops, and teaching. Thank you for joining us for this exclusive insight into the life and purpose of Rasmo.
Because the revolution and the Rasta community should have never been at loggerheads, right?
Drums and the people dance.
I listen up, in my guide, Rastafari, in my guide. I listen up, in my guide, Rastafari, in my guide. They ain't the way that I live my life. Don't really care, don't pay them no mind. Feel how I feel when the feeling's right. Herb meditations throughout the night. Vibes with the Rastafari. See what I see through my vision's third eye. Whoa, only the strongest survive. Bound demolition, cause them have been saying I listen up, in my guide, Rastafari, in my guide. I listen up, in my guide, Rastafari, in my guide. Through every time and season, hey, I find the reason to keep moving on, no matter what I want. Rasta man keep moving on. From dusk till dawn, yeah, man. Jah open the seven seals. Praise Rastafari, his love is real. My life as it feels surreal. Tougher than a old metamorphic steel. Gideon walk on back of hill. Rasta dash the fire, Babylon skin fail. Righteousness must reveal. Jah is my guide and my shield. Every time and season. Hey, see, I find the reason to keep moving on, no matter what I want. Rasta man keep moving on, charging it from dusk till dawn, yeah. I listen up, in my guide, Rastafari, in my guide. I listen up, in my guide, Rastafari, in my guide.
They should know.
Every time, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rastafari guide over Ryan. Selassie I Jah.